Привет, друзья! Как дела? My name is Fedor, and today you will learn how Russian natives use word order to be more emotional and more descriptive in their sentences. If I wanted to say, I love you, should I say, я люблю тебя? Or maybe, я тебя люблю? Or actually, should it be, тебя люблю я? So тебя, you comes first? Which one should I choose? And what if I told you that one of them, in fact, this one right here, is most likely to be used in an argument? Let's talk about word order right now, and from the very start all the way to the natives tricks that we use to be more emotional with our sentences. So the first thing to note is that in Russian, word order will not influence the meaning of a sentence. If I say "Mama купила продукты," mom bought groceries, is going to mean the same exact thing as купила мама продукты. Also, mom bought groceries. In fact, продукты мама купила. It's also mom bought groceries. The meaning does not change. But what does change here is the emphasis of the sentence, okay? The most default and emotionless, emphasis-less sentence structure is мама купила продукты. Mom bought groceries. Mama is a subject, купила is a verb, продукты is an object. So subject, verb, object. This is the default sentence structure that is just used for information. No emphasis here. But if we change it up like this, купила мама продукты, we disrupted this default sentence structure because we want to emphasize купила, bought. Which means that we want to say that she bought the groceries, not that she sold them, not that she brought them, not that she cooked them, not anything else. She bought them. Bought is the kind of emphasis and the focus of the sentence. She bought them. If I said продукты мама купила, mom bought groceries, but продукты is emphasized. She bought groceries, not drinks, not decorations for the party, groceries. Okay? So whatever you want to emphasize, you put first. But this emphasis stuff is kind of common knowledge already. There is two tricks that natives use to be more emotional with their sentences. Before we get there, guys, join our BFluent Camp if you want to level up your Russian speaking. You can join us right now with the first link in the description. It's our 8-week intensive course where you will learn vocabulary, grammar, listening, and of course, speaking. We want to help you guys communicate better in Russian overall. Not just this boring grammar drilling or just studying vocabulary. No, everything all together so you guys can speak Russian much better by the end of the 8-week intensive. Check out more details, the curriculums, the start date, the pricing with the first link in the description. But we start on July 10th, 2023. So if you're watching this video before that, make sure to sign up today. But if you're watching this after, we do these camps twice a year, so you can find the closest start date to today, again, with the first link in the description. Now, let's talk about the tricks that are pretty unique and interesting to use, and if you use them, can guarantee you that you will surprise a lot of natives with your fluency in Russian. So, trick number 1. Whatever we put first can be compared to something else. Okay, that's the first trick. Let me explain. If I say я люблю тебя, I love you. Simple sentence structure, again, subject, verb, object. But if I change it to тебя люблю я, тебя means you. So I put you first here. What I'm implying is that I love you, but I don't love somebody else. Okay, there's some sort of comparison going on here. For example, we have Ivan. Ivan likes Ira, and he also likes Sveta. He just likes them. But Ira also likes Ivan, and she's jealous that he has Sveta on his mind. So she comes to him and says, «Я знаю, что тебе нравлюсь я и Sveta. I know that you like me and Sveta». And Ivan can respond by saying, «Нет, тебя я люблю». No, I love you. So what he says, тебя я люблю, is that no, I love you. I don't love her. So because тебя comes first here, we assume that there's some sort of comparison going on, that we single you out and we say that no, you I love. Her, I don't love. Like that, okay? So there is a comparison going on between you and her. I can give you another example. I can say this about myself. Я не говорю по-французски. I don't speak French. Simple information statement, okay? If I flip the order and say по-французски я не говорю. I don't speak French. But why did I put по-французски first? It's because I have something to counter it with. I don't speak French, but I speak other languages. So those other languages will be kind of a comparison to по-французски, French. You can hear this. Я по-французски я не говорю. I don't speak French. Но я говорю по-русски и по-английски. But I speak Russian and English. This is our counter statement, okay, to the first one. And that's the first trick of word order that natives use a whole bunch. To not just to emphasize something, but to counter it with something. No, I don't love her, but I love you. No, I don't speak French, but I speak Russian and English. Even though sometimes you won't always have this verbal kind of continuation, it's almost always assumed in a context. Okay, that's the first trick. The second trick is even juicier. Okay, it's when we want to show our disbelief or our disappointment with someone. So, I had this happen to me countless amount of times when I was little. My mom would ask me, "Сходи в магазин, купи масло." Go to the store and buy butter. And so, off I go. But the problem is, in Russian, масло is butter, but also масло is oil. So I would misunderstand my mom a whole bunch when she wouldn't clarify which one, butter or oil. We have the same exact word for both. So here I come back with oil in my hands and give it to her. And I say, "Mama, я купил масло." Mom, I bought oil. And she can show her disappointment or disbelief by saying, "Масло он купил." So this phrase, "масло он купил." He bought butter. Масло is butter and it comes first because that's our trick to show disbelief or being upset with somebody, okay? Масло он купил, she's saying, "Oh my God, look at him. He bought butter, huh?" In English, I have to say, "Oh my God, look at him. He bought butter." All of those expressions to show that she was upset with me or that she couldn't believe what I bought. Okay? I made a mistake and she showed her disbelief by saying, "Масло он купил." Look at him, he bought butter. Look at him. Okay? So, that's our second trick. Let me give you a second example to this. For example, again, same when I was little, I'll be talking to my secret girlfriend on the phone, right? At home. And my mom would come in and say, "Who are you talking to?" I can say, "Я разговариваю с другом." I am talking to a friend. She'll respond by saying, "С другом он разговаривает." With friend he is talking. С другом comes first. She doesn't believe me, okay? She shows her disbelief by a simple word order. She doesn't have to say anything. She simply puts с другом first to emphasize her disbelief. A regular sentence would be он разговаривает с другом. He is talking to a friend. I'm informing your dad that you're talking to a friend. But a disbelief kind of sentence is с другом он разговаривает. He's talking to a friend. Yeah, right. In English, I have to say yeah, right verbally to show my disbelief. But in Russian, just the word order will do that for us. And that's what natives will use a whole lot to express more emotion without having to add new words. And I hope you enjoyed this video and you can borrow this approach to your own Russian as well. If you need more help and you want to level up your Russian to the next level, join IB Fluent Camp with this button right here, or continue watching the next video on YouTube with this button right here. It's up to you. See you in whichever one that you choose.